What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotic and the commissioner of the Oshean League. I'm here today for week number 3 of the game of the week for the Oshean League, season number 3. We're going to start off with D1 and then move on to D2 as usual, but I want you guys to take a look at the screen because there is something a little bit different. We are not jumping right into the battle. We are going to be looking at the teams for each battle, each matchup, and this is something that you guys suggested to me that we do to improve the series, and I really want to make some improvements to it. So if you guys ever have any suggestions for the series or any battles or any bit of my content at all on the channel, just know I appreciate all the comments and suggestions about that. So do me a favor, comment if you have anything, let me know so I can make the series better for everyone. Regardless, this is one of the suggestions that you guys have. You guys really loved the initial blind reaction to the battles from last week, so I'm going to keep that around. There won't be any graphics this week as well. I'm still working on getting the graphics done for this. I want to make sure that they're going to be good, and I'm not rushing to get them done because I would have rushed last week, I would have rushed this week, so it is what it is. But regardless, let's go ahead and jump into it. But again, before we do me a favor, like the video if you haven't already. This is an Oshean League video, and usually we aim for around 40 likes a video, but I definitely believe we can get to 50 likes in this video, in every single Oshean League video, so make sure to smash the like button to help the channel grow. And of course, subscribe to the channel too if you have not already. Let me try that again. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, because we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and we actually just hit 1,100 today, so thank you guys for that. I really do appreciate it, and let's hopefully get to 2,000 before too long so we can reach our end of year goal of 5,000. And of course, we do have that 1,000 subscriber special coming out soon enough for you guys. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Looking at these teams, we are looking at Friendly's team against Shadow Glade's team. These teams look kind of similar. I believe we've had at least one game, maybe 2 games that were just these 2 teams, and now they're playing against each other, which is crazy. And I'm going to say, I don't choose the game of the week. The game of the week is done. It's a vote that is done by either who does it. I want to make sure. I think it's trying to find it. Where is it? It's Rainbow Ninja who does it. This week for week 4, he's not going to be doing it. That's going to be Pat Max. So shout out to those two for doing that. But it's a doc that's made. It's a Google form that's made. The players and the coaches and everyone else just votes on which game they believe is going to be the game of the week. And this is the game that got voted, so it must have been a really good one. Regardless, let's go ahead and jump into it. So right off the bat, I gotta say, I accidentally put in the wrong team. Instead of Shadow Glade's team, I put in a different team, and I did the whole video before, or the whole team builder portion of it. So, oops, but it is what it is. We move on. So I kind of know what the 6 Pokemon were brought from each side is, but it's not the end of the world. Regardless, Friend's team is very scary, and so is Shadow Glade's. And I think that definitely because of the Scizor, Shadow Glade's gonna have a really tough time. I think it's gonna be able to dominate this matchup, honestly. Like a Bullet Punch for Gardevoir, U-Turn or Bug Bite for Tangrowth and Crawdaunt. Blaziken, you can just switch out to something that can resist the hits. You have a Tentacruel, which can pretty effectively wall Blaziken. Golisopod is a pretty decent wall there as well. Other than that, it just really nukes absolutely everything. The Melmetal could be a bit of a problem, but again, with the Tentacruel, with potentially Rocky Helmet, with the Scrafty also being potentially Rocky Helmet, and the Golisopod as well, don't forget that as well, it can be kind of difficult to handle, or easy to handle for Fran's team. It definitely looks to me like Fran has the matchup. 100%. With Garchomp being able to Earthquake things, and that are going to be, well, pretty much everything that is, and with Victini clicking V-Crate on basically everything, because the fire resists on this team are really lackluster. It's Crawdaunt, it's Blaziken, and it's Zygarde, and they're all really, really frail. So it could just click Banded V-Crate every time the Tangrowth or the Melmetal comes in and get a KO, which is crazy to think. But at the end of the day, I think it's definitely really in Fran's favor, this matchup. In terms of what Shadow Glade can do to try and win this game, I think a endgame of potentially a boosted Crawdaunt could really be problematic, because if the Tentacruel gets weakened and the Golisopod gets weakened as well as Whimsicott, that's 3 Mons, I know, but if they can get weakened, then boosted Aqua Jet, boosted Liquidation, boosted Knockoff can really clean house. So or not Liquidation, but Crabhammer could really clean house. And the way to weaken those things is to get in the Gardevoir, and if Gardevoir comes in and makes the right predictions around, then it could really be problematic for Friendly's team. Other than that, Blaziken, if you get to +2 on attack and speed, or just attack or just speed, then it's really going to cause problems for Fran's team, because its dual stab is very, very strong. I know Golisopod kind of walls it, but it does get Brave Bird, it does get Thunder Punch, so those are 2 options, and it can also run special for all that matters, and that special Blaziken could still be really strong, because Golisopod doesn't have the best special defense. But regardless, guys, I'll kind of just say what I would bring to the matchups. Scizor, Garchomp, Victini are all must to me. Golisopod is a really good bring here as well, I believe, so I think that's definitely a possibility to wall the Zygarde, to wall the Melmetal, to wall the Crawdaunt to an extent as well. Just sucks that it doesn't really get any recovery, and because it doesn't, I think maybe a Blissey could be a potential bring to Wish back up and some HP for the Golisopod. And at this point, I think I said what did I say? I said Scizor, Garchomp, Victini, Blissey, Golisopod, and you could potentially do Thundurus or Whimsicott. Those are some pretty good options as well. For Shadow Glade's team, I think he's pretty much locked into a couple Mons, really. He could go with the Melmetal, the Gardevoir, the Tangrowth. I think Zygarde 10% is really solid here as well. Blaziken and Crawdont are really good. Other than that, I'm thinking maybe Tauros could be solid because if it's speed, it just hits super hard, and if the Scizor is weakened, it's going to... Actually, no. Even without Scizor being weakened, you can just click Fire Blast with a Life Orb Sheer Force and do tons of damage. So, yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Tauros is a fantastic bring, as I'm zooming through all of my words. And let's go ahead and jump into it because I've given my 6, and I don't want this battle to be too long. So let's go ahead and get started with the battle, and it's going to be, boom, right there. There we go, and let's go ahead and find the battle for me. There it is. Okay. So, looking at what was brought, Poltegeist comes, which is surprising to me, but the top 4 for Fran's team does end up coming, and I'm not surprised. Golisopod, I'm also not surprised, but the Poltegeist, a little bit. But looking at this team, it's pretty good. There is only one Ghost Immunity, and it's the Tauros, and it's pretty frail. If I serves me correct, I don't think the Shadow Glade team had a Dark type, if I'm not mistaken, or no, had the Crawdont. So, Crawdont gets hit super effectively by Giga Drain anyways, so Poltegeist gets a Shell Smash, could be very, very scary. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup. Melmetal is looking very strong. Same thing with Tauros, Blaziken as well. But let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to play with the music off, and let's see what happens. As the leads are going to be Tangrowth against the Victini. Super unfortunate there for Shadow Glade. As I'm mentioning, a U-turn is going to come out here, and it is going to be a V-Create, and that does 84%. Is that banded? I wonder, because it could definitely be banded. That is a resisted hit to a starter, but a Switch Out comes out into the Garchomp. It is range of Rocky Helmet as a Stone Edge comes, and that does pitiful damage, and it is not going to be Life Orb, and it is Leftovers Garchomp. Good to be aware of a sub here. As a Toxic comes out now instead, I imagine the incoming Will-O-Wisp, but the incoming Tangrowth was expected there, as the Blaziken fires off a Will-O-Wisp, basically just weakening the Garchomp, and that's an incredible play, really solid, and Dragon Claw comes out to get the KO on the Blaziken. So the Blaziken may be gone, but the Garchomp is burnt, and that is such a huge, huge issue because it's just going to be weakened so much, and this team really appreciates having Garchomp around. But an Earthquake's going to come out, and you see right there, that's where the burn comes in. You would have been doing about half to the Melmetal. Instead, you just drop right away to the Ice Punch, and you could have had the Melmetal at like 33% instead if you weren't burnt. Unfortunate, but it's okay. In comes the Victini. Banded V-Create, anyone? Yeah, that's what it looks like, and it drops anyways, even through the Aqua Berry. Insane there. Victini is so strong. I believe that's Banded V-Create. This is what's happening here. Banded V-Create Victini is just going to come in and click buttons. It may not even be banded, I don't know, but it's just so strong. In comes Scizor against the Tauros as it catches the Stone Edge. It's the Life Orb Stone Edge. Interesting. I'm assuming a Fire Blast is going to come out here. Is that correct? It is a Fire Blast, and it connects, and it does get the KO. There we go. So Fire Blast on special, mixed Tauros rather, is super, super good, and that's really effective against this team. But in comes the Poltegeist. Tauros can't really touch this, and unless this is like Assault Vest Tangrowth, then Shell Smash here could kind of just clean up, and that's really, really rough for Shadow Glade here. So we'll see what happens. Store Power, yeah, that's gone. This is a GG, isn't it? Actually, no, never mind. There is a Sigilift that could definitely handle things. But in comes the Zygarde 10%. If it's Scarf, it'll outspeed. Store Power, nope, it's just gone. Wow. I'm surprised. Is this going to be the game of the week, guys? You're really going to make this the game of the week? Tauros comes out, and is this going to be a Store Power sweep? I think it is. So that's unfortunate. Fran's going to pick up a 4-0, it looks like, unless I'm proven wrong here. So not the most exciting game for Game of the Week, but as it is Sash, I don't know why you didn't go into this first, but it was probably Sash on the Poltegeist anyways, and it didn't even KO. So that's going to be it. That's going to be it. 4-0 win for Fran and his, I can't remember his team name, so I'm not going to bother. But yeah, like I don't want to make a mistake and say the wrong team name, but regardless, I'm surprised that this made Game of the Week. Guys, like, why was this Game of the Week? Y'all let me know, because this didn't seem like it was Game of the Week material. Yeah, Game of the Week, we want it to be interesting, something fun, something exciting, to have something that we can learn from. The biggest thing is don't let the Poltegeist set up. Now, if I can go back, I'll go back to the turn where I think there was a big misplay that happened. So we're going to go back to when the Tauros switched out. So right over here, there's going to be a KO with the Tauros onto the Scizor, which is fantastic. And in comes the Poltegeist. Now, I don't see any reason to sack off the Tauros here. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of dead weight-ish, but it does outspeed everything except for the Thundurus. And you have Stone Edge for the Golisopod and the Thundurus and the Victini. And then you have literally anything to hit this. As long as you have an accurate move, you can hit it, break its sash, and because you were Sash Sigilift in the back, I don't see why you didn't just get chip off on this, because once you get chip off, then you can actually survive and beat it with Sash Sigilift. That's it, because then you don't have to sack off. your Zygarde. You don't have to sack off your Tangrowth, because at that point in time, yes, you just have a Tangrowth and you just have I'm trying to think of the name, oh my god, a Zygarde and the Tangrowth, but you can honestly, I mean, at this point, like, Tangrowth isn't too useful, so you can go for an attack with the Tauros. If he doesn't attack you, if he goes for a Shell Smash, then you switch out into the Tangrowth, sacking that off, because again, it's super useless, and then you go into your Sigilyph to get the KO. And if he does attack you, well, then he's not at +2, and you have your Sigilyph which outspeeds, you have your Zygarde which outspeeds. So I think this was just a big misplay on Shadowglade's part. Definitely could have been played a bit better, but at least we do see that. Shout out to Fran, though, played really well, got into his win con, and made it do work. At the end of the day, Victini put in a ton of work, and it really broke the team down, because I don't think Melmetal will be dropping to +2 Shadow Ball. It's got too much HP. But regardless, guys, that is going to be it for this battle. Let's go ahead and move into the next battle for Game of the Week for number 2, and that's Division number 2. That is going to be right over here. Boom, there we go. So this matchup here is going to be against Grimkin and Max. Now, the matchup here is going to be from a team that had the first overall pick. How do I know that? Well, I mean, Dragapult was first overall in both leagues, so not really surprising. But we do have a team with Sand again, and a team with Mega Venusaur being fat. All right, now just looking at this, Mega Charizard could be the absolute monster that it is. Maybe Wooper comes in and tries to wall it. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried, but we'll see what happens. But Mega Charizard, if he gets a Dragon Dance, if he gets up 2 Dragon Dances, then I think it's just game over, because you can really just put in a lot of work with that against everything. You run Fire Punch, you run Dragon Claw, and then you run like Thunder Punch, and you're basically set against everything. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was what's going to happen. But obviously, there's a lot of bulk on the team. There's a lot of offense. Thunder Wave from Prankster, Thundurus is definitely a possibility. Other than that, Magnezone is very cool this matchup. I actually like it a lot, because it comes in on the Tapu Fini, and then it really does a lot of work against something like the Excadrill. And considering that the Excadrill does get walled pretty effectively by a unaware Quagsire, I would not be surprised to see that be the case. And the fact that there's the Bulu plus the Moltres plus Latios makes the Excadrill kind of have to do a lot of 50-50s. Decide, do I go for Iron Head expecting the Tapu Bulu? Do I go for Stone Edge expecting the Moltres? What's the play? So he's got to figure that out. Incineroar, a really good pivot here. It's going to be probably there to take care of the Dragapult. Maybe the Tapu Bulu tries to do that as well if it's a physical Dragapult, because it does get fire coverage on the special side, but we'll see. Cinderace being Blaze Cinderace could be very problematic. It doesn't get any rock coverage, so Moltres can kind of handle that pretty effectively. Quagsire as well. Honestly, it seems like Max's team is just so much more defensive and is going to win by outlasting Grimkin's team. The problem is, with Mega Venusaur being able to wall almost everything, it's going to be very difficult for that to happen. The good news is Max does have that Latios, so we can definitely see that being problematic. Other than that, do webs come for Max? Orbeal, does that come? I mean, with Prankster Defog in Thundurus, with Spin on Excadrill, with Feeny being a reliable defogger as well, Dragapult getting Clear Body, it doesn't look like it. I don't think it's really a good bring to bring the webs this week. It just doesn't seem like it does enough for the matchup. If anything, I would say Max is probably going to bring the Mega Charizard, the Bulu, the Latios. I think the Quagsire is a really good bring here. And you know what? Mamoswine is good. It's just, it feels like it's going to be really asked to do a lot, and it's not going to be able to do too much to Mega Venusaur. It's not going to be able to do too much to Tapu Fini, and Dragapult is just going to outspeed it and do tons of damage to it anyway. So I don't really know the Mamoswine comes, but the first 3, the Quagsire, are definitely, in my opinion, really good brings. Magnezone is solid here because it helps deal with the Tapu Fini that the rest of the team struggles with outside of the Bulu. But Bulu's already going to be kind of walled hard enough by the Mega Venusaur. And then I'd say, you know what? I'm going to say that Incineroar comes as the number 6. So we're going to say Zard, Bulu, Latios, Magnezone, Quagsire, and Incineroar. And then on Grimkin's side, I'll say the Sandcore, the Dragapult, the Mega Venusaur, and then we'll say something like the we'll go Thundurus, I think, is a really solid bring here as well. And then I'll say it's a toss between here Tapu Fini and Cinderace. And I'm gonna say Tapu Fini here. I'm gonna say Tapu Fini. Those are gonna be my 6 on each side. So let's go ahead and jump into the actual battle. And boom, there we go. All right, let's take a look. So Moltres comes, but no. Okay, this is very interesting. Okay, so the fact that Moltres comes, but Incineroar doesn't. The fact that there is no Bulu is surprising to me. The fact there's no Latios is surprising to me. The fact there's no Mega Venusaur is surprising to me. But hey, it is what it is. I think Grimkin's team is pretty. It makes a lot of sense. Mega Venusaur didn't come, but definitely the big 3 being the Sandcore and the Dragapult did come for sure. And at the end of the day, I had 7 Mons in mind. 6 of the 7 I thought were going to come actually came. and then I was just way wrong. I did not think Nihilego was going to be coming to this matchup at all, but it works because the Venusaur didn't show up, and same thing with Mamoswine because the Venusaur just didn't show up, and if that Tapu Fini can get weakened, then Mamoswine's going to go in. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's see the leads here. So Grimkin, and it is going to be, I'm trying to think, oh my god, Grimkin and Max, their teams here. Mamoswine against Excadrill as the leads, and Mamoswine just switches out into the Quagsire, very free here as the Quagsire switches out, the Excadrill switches out into Tapu Fini. Alright, very interesting. And there's another switch into the Nihilego. Is it expecting a fairy move as it's Nature's Madness instead? And is it leftovers or Black Sludge Nihilego? It is not. So T-Tar comes in, it's a pretty good wall to Nihilego, but it does get access to Grass Knot. So there it is, Grass Knot. But the problem is Mega T-Tar in the sand is just so bulky. So it doesn't do very much, and that's the problem here. So it's going to switch out here, going to Quagsire. If a Tox comes out at any point of the Quagsire at any point in time, that the terrain isn't up, that the missed terrain isn't up, then it's going to be very problematic, as that's 4 hits, and yeah, so 4 hits on the Quagsire with the Rock Blast there, doesn't do too much, you see, and it gets back basically all that back with the leftovers. So there's going to be a switch back into the Tapu Fini here. What's it going to go for here? It's going to be going into the Magnezone, making the prediction Great Double as it's Air Balloon Magnezone. So what's going to be the play here? It's going to be a Volt Switch, expecting the incoming Excadrill maybe? What's the plan? In comes Cinderace instead. Is it a Volt Switch? Is it a Flash Cannon? Is it a Body Press? It is a substitute. Wow, okay, that's interesting. I guess you want to see what he's gonna do. Very nice. But we're gonna see what happens here. It's gonna be a Pyro Ball coming in. It's a critical hit. Doesn't really matter too much. The balloon pops through sub. I did not know that. It's good to know. But Thunderbolts can come out and does 50%. That's not good enough. Magnezone needed to be doing more there. But in comes the Dragapult. I'm assuming it's the prediction in case of the Quagsire. As a sub comes out instead, this could definitely be Infiltrator on the Dragapult, but I guess it isn't, as in comes the Excadrill on the Thunderbolt, making a prediction there, as a high horsepower comes out, not running Earthquake in case of the terrain, the grassy terrain, but no, Magnet Rise comes out once more, so that what is it called, that ground move is going to be ineffective, and now though the Rock Blast getting only 2 hits this time, as there is going to be a Body Press coming out, so a really annoying set here. I think this would definitely be a lot better if instead of running Balloon, you'd be running the leftovers. That way you can kind of do a lot of work against the Excadrill with the sub. But at this point in time, he's gonna be like 5 hits to break the sub with Rock Blast. He only gets 2, so it looks like wow, great, good for Max, getting rid of the Excadrill with the Magnezone. Really good job, well done. But in comes the Dragapult here, as it is going to be not breaking the sub. Wow, it doesn't even break the sub with 2 Dragon Darts there after the 2 hits from Rock Blast. And you know what? It doesn't even matter too much because at the end of the day, like the Dragapult didn't drop or anything, but it finally breaks the sub and it finally hits it, and now the Magnezone goes down. So that's really big that the drill is gone. But the Magnezone being gone is really bad for Max, because that was the biggest check he had to the Tapu Fini, because even now, even this is banded, this is going to do a lot of damage. Look at this. Banded Ice Crash, it does nothing. That's crazy. Again, I don't even know if it's banded or not. I can't make that assumption. But now the Quagsire's going to come in. Quagsire kind of like beats this, I guess, unless it gets toxic, which again, you don't want to get toxic. You want to get burnt, if anything. That'd be the safest thing to happen. But a Calm Mind is going to come out, and this is really dangerous. So we're going to see here Recover comes out. This is unaware. We know this. The fact that it didn't get recovery from, oh wow, okay, I'm gonna pause it here. Wow, okay, let's pause it. So the fact that he didn't get the recovery from Scald means is unaware, and if this was not running Grass Knot, then Quagsire would be able to beat it 1v1, but no, at this point in time, Quagsire outspeeds nothing and will drop to everything. That is so bad because the Cinderace goes in. The Thundurus is going to have free reign, really, because Grass Knot with T-Bolt just destroys everything. And the T-Tar as well could be very scary. If that was a physical Dragapult, then you best believe that was going to be causing a lot of problems. This is looking like a great game so far. And then we saw the Infestation, which is a very interesting set. I don't know why that was being brought, but hey, more power to him, I guess. But regardless, this Quagsire is going to be a pain. It's going to be a pain. It's huge. The fact that this thing goes down, that is massive. And the Infestation is going to wear off here as well, I believe, right? Yeah, it wears off when Quagsire goes down. So what's going to happen? Nihilego comes in. Is it going to be going back into the T-Tar here? No, it just goes for the Sludge Wave, doing about half to the Fini, as Fini gets the KO with Scald there too. This +1 Fini is going to be putting in a lot of work. Getting back to over 50% now is huge. Okay, Charizard comes out. We revealed 3 moves, being Calm Mind, Grass Knot, Scald, and the Fairy move, Nature's Madness. So Dragonite's going to come out here as a Scald that does just under half, which is not bad at all. If it's got a Roost here, then that's really good, because this might be just a reverse sweep right here. So there's going to be a Thunder Punch come out, and that's going to get the KO. So that probably makes me think it does not have Roost. Okay, we'll see what comes in. It is the Tyranitar. Is there going to be an Earthquake here? Is going to be an Outrage? But no, it's going to the Thundurus here. What is the plan? It is going to be a Brick Break. Wow, okay, so that is not at all what I expected to be bring as the one of the moves, but I guess it makes sense considering all the fighting weaknesses. But a Thunder Punch comes out now and gets the KO, and just like that, Charizard is able to try to bring it back just a little bit. What's going to come in though? It's going to be a Scarf Cinderace, it's going to be a Scarf Dragapult, and comes the T-Tar once more. Is he trying to wear down the HP of the Tyranitar with what is it called? Charizard with sand? Is that a thing? I mean, I'm a little confused, but I'm assuming a Dragon. Well, no, a Flare Blitz instead, and a Flare Blitz gets the KO. Okay, let's pause this. I was kind of assuming a Dragon was going to come out, but no, that makes a lot of sense then. So Fire, Fighting, and Electric is going to be his coverage. I'm just going to pull up his team really quickly and see, does that hit everything that we wanted to? Let's take a look. So Fire, Fighting, and Electric. I'm still surprised to see no Dragon coverage, because you want to hit the Dragapult and get the KO with it. I guess Flare Blitz, if that got the job done at like after rocks and with like one hit of sand or something, then definitely that makes a lot of sense. But still, I'm very surprised to see no Dragon coverage. Regardless, it ends up working out for him. So let's just go ahead and continue. Is this going to be just a GG right here? I mean, I don't think there's enough turns, but there is potential for Sucker Punch on Cinderace, so we'll see if that's the case. But in comes the Cinderace here. This is in range of Brick Break. Is it going to go for Sucker Punch here? Switches on to Moltres. Okay, so loses that 50-50 there. Oh, as he actually wins the 50-50. Never mind me, because he gets rid of the sand and he avoids the Sucker Punch. But in comes T-Tar here on, what will it be, a U-turn maybe? Just a double out into Mamoswine. Wow, and this is just going to be a free KO with Earthquake, isn't it? Is this Scarf Mamoswine with Earthquake? Just gets the KO right there on the T-Tar, and I think this is going to be a good game. I think this is going to be a 3-0 win for Max. Is it going to be a 3-0 win for Max? Because like, I don't think there's anything this Cinderace can do. Yeah, that's game. Wow, GG, this was a really good game. This is a really nice game. Honestly, it was really tough for Max once the Tapu Fini got a Calm Mind off. And I was really surprised to see that the Fini didn't go for more Calm Mind, because if it had gone for more against the Quagsire, like, it was fine. It could have done a lot of work. But hey, it is what it is. Both these teams are going to learn from it. I'm sure they might both make playoffs. I don't know what the records are, but they could definitely make playoffs. So I wouldn't be surprised, and they could have a rematch, and we'll see what happens. But in a game that I thought that Grimkin brought 6 really good Pokemon in the matchup versus a matchup that I said, you know what? It looks like Max is missing some things that I thought could be really good in this matchup. Max ends up getting the win, and that's it. Just don't be surprised. Your opponent could bring something crazy, and you can never expect it, and that's kind of what happened here. So damn. Well, we got a 3-0 win for Max, and Mamoswine and Charizard being the MVPs here, really. That's it. And then on the other end, we get right here the France team picking up a win with Poltegeist, putting in a lot of work. But guys, that is going to be it for this battle. That was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. The battle with the Charizard here, this battle here was a lot of fun to watch. The other battle, not so much. It was just a reverse sweep that was kind of straightforward. I was kind of surprised that it only lasted however long it lasted. I thought it was going to last longer, but regardless, this was a really fun time, really good experience for me to do. I love doing these team builders, these games of the week, I mean, because it lets me see something a little bit different every time, and at the same time, it lets me expose some of you guys to some different plays that I would have made. And I don't really have much of an analysis for this game, other than maybe Grim trying to keep around the Excadrill a little bit longer against the Magnezone. That's basically it. I mean, you saw how little the Magnezone did to the what's it called? I'm trying to think of the name. The Dragapult. So we'll see. But I wonder what the Dragapult ability was. It wasn't Infiltrator. Was it Clear Body? Like, was that for webs maybe? I don't know. Regardless, that is going to be it, guys. I'm kind of rambling at this point, just talking out of my ass, so we're going to just see what we can do after just ending this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor, leave a like on the video. We're trying to reach 50 likes on all Oshean League videos. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers, like I said, as I cannot say the word subscribers. It is late, I'm tired. But guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to comment your thoughts on the battles down below. If you have any misplays or predictions, or I guess different plays in mind that I had or that the players had, then let me know as well. Of course, all the people who are in the Oshean League just love these videos, so I'd really appreciate you guys showed your support to them, because they really are a lot of awesome people who have done a lot of good things for my community so far and our community, and been just really solid. So I appreciate them, and I appreciate all of you guys for watching. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys all next time.